So I didn't think I was gonna post or film this week because I feel like we have had snow every weekend. We have had snow where I live every weekend in January. Every weekend. I I can't. I can't. I can't. Like I cannot even. It is absolutely ridiculous and I'm over it and I want spring. I cannot stand winter. I hate winter. So here on Getting It Together, we are getting it together in the freezing cold, where I live at least. Um, yeah. But I mean, there's a lot of other stuff too. It's been an emotional week. It's been a rough week. Not really anything in particular, just struggling with my emotions. Um, nothing wrong. Well, stuff goes wrong, like life is wrong. But why am I reacting so much? I guess because women tend to internalize things, I think. And I mean, I told you guys I'm gonna be real and raw here with you, and so, but it's just been really emotional, so just kind of decompressing, and that seems to be the way I decompress. Does anybody else have this, like, everything's fine, everything's fine? Do you have, like, a crazy day and you just decompress by crying? I mean, I don't know what it is. I don't know if that's, like, I'm not, like, I don't know. I mean, I am a crier, like, in the, like, I cry when I'm frustrated. Um, like, if I get super overstimulated and over frustrated, that's usually the first thing that I do is cry. Then I start getting angry, which makes me cry more. Um, which if I'm doing it in front of someone or like a stranger, it makes me even more angry because I hate crying in front of people I don't know. Yeah. So that will make me more frustrated, and then I just literally can't talk. So, but anyway, I wasn't sure with all of that together. I wasn't so sure if I was going to be able to film, if I was going to have time because of the snow. And I was able to get everything done today, so I am starting early, getting ready, so I have time to talk with you guys. It's gonna be good. So, you guys, if you tuned into the last episode that I have uploaded, I kind of was leading the way to talk about something totally different when I came back. I was going to have a totally different subject and decided that I wasn't going to do that. Why is my hair getting stuck? Okay. If you are listening on Spotify, I am putting my makeup on. If you're watching on YouTube, you guys already know the drill. You already see what's going on. It's all the same. I am going a little lighter because the last time I did my makeup, it was a little too heavy, and I noticed it was not wearing well. So I went super light the last time I wore makeup. And it actually ended up being good. It actually ended up staying really nice. So, I haven't been wearing makeup as much just because I haven't I haven't been in the mood for the whole process. I've just been like, you know what? I don't have time. I don't know. It's a lot of stuff that kind of culminated, and I got really used to not wearing it. So I barely wear it anymore. So when I do, I'm like the bare minimum because I hate having it on my face now. So I'm like, we're just going to, we're just gonna kind of fake it and make it look like I'm wearing like makeup, but I'm really just like, this is fine. Like, so it looks like I literally spent the entire day working on it. And I kind of did because of blending and stuff, but it's just kind of like throw it on. That's my vibe. Only vibes in 2025. I'm just messing. No, I'm good. I'm good. You getting it together, as we say. um, but in all seriousness, anyway, I've been rambling for 6 minutes and have not given you any idea of what we're doing today. So I told you guys I'm going to be getting more into topics. I want a topic. So I had a topic I was going to go with. I kind of was going to segue from last week and go into this week. And I decided I would take a little detour this week and lighten it up for you guys. It's not always going to be me like having any issues or whatever. Like, I don't want to always have like, oh, this is, my crisis of the week, and this is, same old, same old. I want to mix it up a little. So I will talk about some serious stuff in this episode, and trigger warning, for some people, you might want to be wise in listening. I am going to be talking about some heavy issues. Going to try to be very, very gentle, but we are going to talk about something kind of serious near the end. I'm going to finish out giving you a couple of lists, because I wanted to talk about this week, talk about movies, what movies, I have been watching, what things I am interested in as far as movies. I'm gonna give you, like I said at the end, my list of favorite and least favorite movies. So I'm excited. I hope this records okay. If I do all of this and I lose the recording, I'm gonna be so mad. It should be okay, but there's a lot of background noise and I hope it works. I think it should, though. As long as I edit it pretty good, we should be fine. I haven't been putting any makeup on like my nose because I've just been having so much trouble with my nose being dry. I need to get a better moisturizer. I hydrate a lot. I drink a lot of water. I try to, at least. I try to drink a lot of water. I don't always get the full hydration, I guess, or something. I don't know. Maybe I don't drink enough. I don't know. Like, I pour it a lot, but like, do I drink it all? You know? That's the big thing. Like, do you drink all the water you pour? Because you can be like, oh, I drink lots of water, but do you actually drink it or you just fill your cup? It's the big thing. I can drink, I have a thermos brand cup that I put my water in. I believe it's 8 ounces. I want to say it's 8 ounces. No, it's more than that. It's like 10 ounces. I think it's like 10 ounces. And I have one for my coffee that I drink in the morning, and then I'll drink some at night too. And then I have the other one that I fill with water for when I go to work. And that usually lasts me the whole time I'm at work. Whatever shift I'm on, I make it last. Sometimes I have to refill, and I hate refilling with water that isn't from home. I like home water. I know that sounds really weird, but if you know, you know. If you know, you know. Home water, like water from your house, is totally different. It's totally different. And especially when you have a filter. Like if you have a Brita filter, or if you have a like a refrigerator filter, if you have a pure filtration system, whatever, like something like that cannot be beat. Unmatched. That water is good. I literally, filtered water is, yes, I love it. So I don't like to refill it. We do have a filtered water pitcher at work, so if I have to refill it, I use that. But I try to make my water last from home because I just like it better. Anyway, having said that, my skin is so dry that I just don't use foundation on my nose anymore. I just kind of take it and like spot conceal. I mean, you can see. I mean, it is what it is. So anyway, so the reason why I got onto this subject was because, first of all, I wanted to lighten it up. I thought, let's lighten it up this week. Let's kind of mix in a little bit of lightness. Instead of just talking about everything. Let's talk about movies. Let's have fun. So, I lost you for a second. I have the tiny, tiny little space to get ready, and I make it work. But anyway, so this all started when, the beginning of the month, I got 2 days off in a row and got everything done in one day. And I thought I was going to have a visitor, but I didn't end up having a visitor. So I cleaned the house the first day that I had off, and we didn't have the visitor, so we went grocery shopping. And it's me and my mom, you guys know. We went grocery shopping, came home, everything was done. We had a really nice dinner together, and then the next day, I had nothing planned. So I got up and I fed the cat, got in the shower, so I could be done for the entire day. And I literally sat on the couch and watched a crappy movie. I watched Step Up. circa 2006. You guys, if you know, you know. This movie, The Chokehold, this movie had on us high school girls in 2006. I was 15 and no, stop. It was, I was convinced that Channing Tatum was the best dancer I had ever seen in my entire life. And I was convinced that Jenna Dewan was everything that I wanted in a look for myself. Like, that's what I wanted to look like. That's what I wanted to dress like. That's how I wanted. I was like, why can't I look like Jenna Dewan? Like, why? What? Where? How is this fair? And like, her dancing is so good, and like all that stuff that you tell yourself when you watch a movie when you're 15 years old, and it's really awful, actually. And it's actually the worst dancing ever in the history of dancing. And the girl is not pretty. She is funny looking and has actually no rhythm and can't dance. Channing Tatum, yes. Okay, so he has some moves, the little flippity-doo thingy, twisty, flippy thing he does over the car in the one scene, and then he like closes the door with his foot when he like flips over the car. That was cool. And the little like thing that he does when he like the sit thing, that was kind of cool. And the tutting that he did. And if you don't know dance vernacular, tutting is when you move your hands very intricately. I picked that up because I am a major dance fan. I don't dance, but I'm a major dance fan. So, and my mom danced. So watched the movie with my mom when it came out, and she told me everything that was wrong with the dancing, and now I can't unsee it because I am older and now realize how awful the movie was. It's a terrible movie. If you get a chance and you haven't seen it, watch it. It's awful, but watch it. You will understand why girls who were in high school from 2005 to 2009 are the way they are. That is why we are the way we are. That is what, yeah, it's not good. It's bad, but it's good. It's okay. But started with that. That all started my whole thing, right? So I had another day off. After that, it was like the week after that I watched another movie that is very, very good, very, very well acted, very serious though. I want to talk about this because nobody talks about this. Nobody has talked about this movie. Nobody anywhere is bringing this movie up. And I'm like, why? Because it is fan freaking tastic. I can't say enough. You can't find the soundtrack on Spotify. You can't find anybody talking about this movie. I forgot about this movie. I had literally, my family is a family of movie buffs. Like, family movie night is something that we would do. As a child of the 90s with 80s baby siblings, we did do Friday night Blockbuster runs, where we would go, and being that my brother and I are only a few years apart, we had our age range movies. And then my sister got to pick out a movie that she would watch with my mom that was a little more mature. She would get like the latest, like, serious movie or the latest teen movie. Because you see, children back then, we didn't have streaming apps where things would go on streaming, and that didn't exist because computers didn't work like that. I'm just messing around. No, but we did have Blockbuster Weekend, and we would always end up with, like, Sunday night usually or Saturday night. We would end up watching movies. So the little ones would get to watch their movie in the early evening. Usually while we were getting ready to, like, get dinner together and stuff, we would watch our movie. And it was always a little bit of a challenge because, like, my brother obviously wanted, like, Transformers, like, stuff, cartoons, because movies weren't out yet, obviously. And yes, I did watch Transformers, the movie, in 2008 with my brother because, I mean, why not? I just got stuff all over my face. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, so, I mean, of course, that was a little bit difficult, but we usually came to some type of an understanding. And then my dad would go to bed, and then my sister and my mother would go ahead and watch whatever movie that my sister had picked out. In fact, one time it was a very, 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 very serious movie called Girl Interrupted. And me, in my bad girl phase, was determined to sneak down and see what the fuss was about. That my mother was saying, do not come down these steps. Do not come in this room. Do not look at this TV. I don't know what's going to be in this movie. We've heard good things about it, and we are going to watch it. She and I, my sister was already 17, and my mom said, you may not come in. You may not. And what did little me do in the literally worst scene of the movie? I walked downstairs. Was traumatized for life. Yeah. Yeah. So, cannot listen to the song that goes in that scene ever without, like, literally having flashbacks. Like, it's terrible. It was the worst. But anyway, then my parents would usually pick out a movie that they would watch together that was usually like, like a good story movie, or, like one of the parent type movies, you guys know. Well, this was one of them. And I remember seeing parts of it as I was, like, getting my toys out to go play up in my room. Like, I would come down and it would be playing, but, like, I didn't know what was going on, right? I didn't know what was happening. And I ended up taking the movie out of the library when I was, like, in my early 20s, and watching it on a Sunday afternoon, but I had fallen asleep. So I hadn't really totally full on caught what was actually happening in this movie. I just remembered the name of it, and I remembered the music, and I remembered there was a lot of swing dancing in this movie, and I love swing dancing. I think looks like one of the purest expressions of joy I have ever seen in my life. Like, I want to go swing dancing one time in my life. Like, that's just something that I want to do. Like, I don't even have to go anywhere far to do it. Like, somebody teach me how. Like, just teach me how and dance with me. Yeah. So, this movie is called Swing Kids. And this is the one that I wanted to feature on the subject of movies because this movie, nobody talks about this movie, and I have my theories why. There is a reason why, and I'm gonna tell you. So, in this movie, there is a group of children, young kids, who are all basically involved in swing dancing at clubs in Germany during the rise of Hitler and in the full terrible reign of these work camps that are being advertised as something for these kids to go do to stay off of the street. They don't want to do that. They want to dance. And they go to these clubs and they dance swing dance. And the officers who patrol the streets come and find them and make them tell where all of the other kids are who do this, and then go to a camp where they get basically brainwashed into believing everything that is bad is good. And then they hurt them and everybody around them if they don't do what they say. So basically, one boy is like, I'm not doing this and you can't make me. And the other one is like, well, we might have to. And then the other one is like, not able to because he has a issue with his feet and he's not able to move correctly, so they don't bother him, but then they do bother him. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible thing. Some pretty awful things happen. It's one of the saddest scenes I've ever seen in my life happens, and that's all I can say. And yeah. But this story is so important because for me, this is something that we need to look into, like why, like the subject of people wanting to have a system that tells them where they should go and what they should do and who they should trust and who they should believe and all the things. And one of the other things is getting them to tell the leaders everything that they're seeing that is going against what they want. So like telling them, like when their parents say something against everything that's happening, when their friends do, when their fellow soldiers do. And I mean, just scary, scary stuff. Okay, so like we're not talking enough about this whole thing. It's like we kind of skipped over that part, and you know, kind of it gives Schindler's List a little bit because it's like the slow fade. And I think maybe that's why, you know, it's kind of like fallen into obscurity. But it's available to stream as of right now, as far as I know, on YouTube for free. And I would say check it out right away. Like, make sure you check it out right away. I'm sure you could find it on DVD if you looked hard enough. I don't know. I didn't search Amazon or anything, but I know that it is definitely worth the watch. And we don't talk enough about this kind of stuff. So for me, it's a big deal. It's something that obviously is not for children. It's rated R. Very, very, very serious. I'd like to watch it again because I feel like you need to watch it a couple times to really let it all sink in. And I don't want to give spoilers. But there is a scene when everything comes together for the person who is fighting against everything, and he literally dances his way out with, I mean, literally, he's like dancing his way out with the guards, like following him, like pushing him, like taking him in, just dancing his literal feet off. Like, this guy, I, I just, the acting is incredible. The acting is something that you don't expect. Um, I don't think anybody expected it to be what it was. I have that feeling that they weren't expecting to make as much of a statement as I think this movie. This movie makes even more of a statement than Schindler's List, in my opinion, because it tells you all of the things that were going on with the youth of the day and what they were feeling and experiencing. Um, you know, you have a lot of respect and a lot of honor that came out of Schindler's List, which I think was important. And I, to this day, think it's one of the greatest movies of all time. I don't think there's a movie that really can beat it as far as story, as far as impact. The culmination of cinematography, score, acting, um, editing, the entire process was just great. This takes it to a new level because it forces you to look. It 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 forces you to feel the the turmoil and the tension. Um, one of the characters has a mom that doesn't know what to do, so she just goes along with all of it, and she's just like, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. And it just shows you how many of those people living there were like so unsure. And the uncertainty and the turmoil that it caused in the families were just terrible. It was terrible. I'm so glad that they were brave enough to do what they did with it. And I'll put like the cast list up. I didn't get a chance to look at it because, like I said, I wasn't even sure I was gonna film today, so I'll just put the cast list up. If you're on YouTube, I'll put it on the screen. If you are listening on Spotify, it'll be down in the description. I'll try and make sure I get that together for you guys. But yeah, it's It's right up it's a great movie. It's one of the best movies. Again, as far as music, as far as acting, as far as cinematography, the cinematography in the movie is, I think, what brings so much of the emotion. Because it will get you uncomfortably close to somebody dancing. Something that will get you that uncomfortably close to somebody dancing literally their emotions out. And I'm not talking about the Footloose scene. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I love that. But this was on a whole different planet. It just it makes such a difference. So, I mean, it's worth the watch. It's called Swing Kids. Look it up. Take it in, and I hope you enjoy it. Yeah. So with that being said, I want to finish out the video. I want to go ahead and give you my list of favorite and least favorite movies that I've ever seen. So obviously, I mentioned two movies that were very good that I've seen that I really thought were important. I also am super into musicals, so love The Greatest Showman. Don't like Oklahoma. Never liked Oklahoma. It's boring to me. And it's funny because I can watch Seven Brides for Seven Brothers every single time it's on, and I will literally sit there and watch the whole thing and react every single time. I love it. The scene where he like goes out on a tree to go sleep on their wedding night because she gets mad at him is adorable. And yeah, but don't like Oklahoma. It's the same, literally the same type of thing. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's the music. Maybe the music doesn't catch me. But also love a good chick flick. So I love like Sleepless in Seattle. I love You Got Mail. I love Runaway Bride. Runaway Bride is one of the greatest movies ever made, and I will not hear otherwise, and I will watch it 5 million times. I don't even care. Like, I want to watch it. Literally, I say the name and I want to watch it. Like, where is it? I want it on, like, now, so I can sit and watch the whole thing. It's, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's become my favorite movie. One of my favorite movies. Also 13 Going on 30. Could watch that one every time it's on. I have it on DVD because how much I love it. Slumdog Millionaire, have that one on DVD. That one's great. If you haven't seen that one's a great story as well. And probably on the other side of it, probably the one that I didn't like that I saw that was somewhat like that. Probably like, I don't know, it's not the same, but like Shawshank Redemption. Everybody loves Shawshank Redemption. I don't like it. It's so freaking boring. And it's like 5 hours long. Same with Dances with Wolves. It's like 5 hours long. The guy saying the same things over and over again. Like, am I wrong? Like, am I wrong? It came out a year before I was born, and it won an Oscar the weekend that I was born, I believe, or the I don't know, the year I was born, it won an Oscar. And I was like, how? It's the most boring movie ever. I don't know, I don't get it. But anyway, some people love it. But I'm not into like the Western style movies. I'm more into like if I'm gonna go that route, I like movies that are like maybe set in that time period, but um like the girl falling in love with the Mountie, like the love movies, like Love Comes Softly, and those, like I like those. Those are pretty good. Um, Big fan of One Calls the Heart, so those movies are obviously, you know, on my list. Um, I went through my superhero movie phase and I am out of it completely. Got out of it so quickly. It started with Iron Man. I was obsessed with Iron Man when it came, not when it came out, but like when I saw it, it was like maybe a year or two after it came out. And I was so into it. And like Robert Downey Jr. was like so cool to me and loved it. And Avengers was great. And liked Captain America because I liked Chris Evans and I was a big fan of him in Fantastic Four. Um, and I love him also in The Nanny Diaries. I think his character is hilarious. How he's like so like awkward. And then like she gets to be with him in the end is so cute. Um I love that movie too. That's a great movie. I was kind of a nanny for a little while, and so that kind of became close to my heart too. Um, and on the other side of that, I don't like movies that are too involved. Like I like movies like okay, so like I saw the movie Deja Vu. It was great, but it was really involved. I don't think I could watch it again. There are some movies I just couldn't watch again. So the movies that I like are movies that I could watch over and over and I'd still love them. Um, and yeah, so with that being said, I have rambled on far, far too long. Thank you guys for joining me while I get ready and tell you a little bit about what's going on and give you some movies to watch. And next week we'll get into something a little more serious and a little more, um, I don't know, applicable. Because this is just cool stuff and stuff that people don't talk about. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching and enjoy your week.